No, I think a lot of people here were paid the unders, but there were some betting agencies that didn't. So I seen a couple of people on Twitter that said, "But what the hell's going on? Why haven't been paid out?" So, look, the problem with me was I took it with Morton, unfortunately, who let me down on Saturday, even though it was a great run. But it sort of was irrelevant anyway. But yeah, look, it is what it is.
All right, you are taking the P155 out of US Sport at the moment. So have you got something for us today, or is this a Friday special?
Friday special.
I might have something later on in the show. Tim from Kilsyth has texted in. I was waiting for this. Afternoon, boys. I sent a text in on Wednesday telling you I'd got on Timmy Zoo early at $10. When I saw it got out to $23 on the night, I put another 10-way each way on him. What a win. He climbs all over them.
Yeah, I'm glad Tim has texted in because I wanted to talk about Tim because we got it wrong, Jason, and we put our hands up with this sort of stuff. We thought that it was going to be problematic for Tim Zoo to get into a nice enough position from box 7 and do the right thing. And look, after 50 metres, Jason, it was probably looking not great for Tim Zoo. I mean, he was
50 metres, probably 350.
Yeah, he was in the back half. And then our argument was, how are you going to chase down the dogs of the calibre that he had to? And I know it's only February, Jace, but if we wrote these things down and really paid attention to it, there's no doubt that would be in the top 5 runs of the year. For him to run down greyhounds of the calibre of Flying Zulu and those greyhounds up front, after the start that he had, where he had a bit of a bumping duel with Dacey's Rory, was just incredible. Unbelievable. I think the race panned out how we thought for 85% of it, maybe 95 even, where we knew Hotel Whiskey 1 was going to fan off to give Flying Zulu a chance on the fence, and he looked the winner with 50 metres to go, and then all of a sudden Tim Zoo's just jumped out of the ground and won. One of the great victories in a Temley I've seen.
That last 30 metres just didn't look real, did it?
No.
Visually. The way he hit the line was just with such viciousness. It was so good to watch.
That's that will to win gene that I think is not common in greyhound racing, and he certainly has got that. So, Tim, I know you not having a crack at us, mate, and I'm glad you won some money, but we got that wrong. I mean, and I think blowing out to $23, I think a lot of people thought the same about Tim Zoo. How is he going to get across from out there? How is he going to get into a good enough position to run down a dog who essentially could be running 29.60 out in front? As it turned out, they didn't have to run that fast, but still, his effort was monstrous.
A performance of the highest order, and not just that, but the result itself, George, for the whole podium. To be filled with all 3 runners from the Thompson camp, with Flying Zulu as runner-up, Excavation third. That is, I mean, I haven't been around clearly as long as what you have, but that is one of the better big race performances from a training camp I have ever seen.
Yeah, look, and it's probably the cherry on top to the way they finished last year as well, Jason. I mean, they've had an unbelievable 5 to 6 months, and look, they keep getting these very, very good dogs in the kennel. I mean, they had Explicit leave the kennel. The greyhound that ran second to Explicit has been sold to a different kennel, and you still got Flying Zulu and Tim Zoo flying the flag. And now all of a sudden you're in a semi-final where you've got to run first or second, and you're in an Australian Cup. And we got to talk about Tim Zoo. Can he become the second greyhound ever to win back-to-back Australian Cups? This race has been going since the 1950s, first run at North Melbourne at Arden Street. And now all of a sudden he could be only the second greyhound ever behind China Trip to win back-to-back. Well, he gives himself an opportunity to too. He's still got to do well in the next couple of weeks.
We'll speak about the Zoom Stop later on when we're joined by Jamie Ennis and all things Lanfranco. But of course on the night there was heats of the Australian Cup run and won. The first of them was won by Reaper, and this was a performance sort of Tim Zoo-esque as well, George. He hit the line really well and didn't look the winner 50 metres out.
No, it was a terrific victory again. That sort of will to win, it was absolutely fantastic. Wasn't an easy heat. There was a couple of good greyhounds with speed, but Reaper was too good.
Yep, that he was. And what was interesting about Reaper, I got flagged this greyhound not long ago, that his part owner is the premiership coach from the Pies in Craig McRae.
Go the Pies.
And I've forgotten all about the dog since then. And after the race on Saturday night, here he is on the track.
Big Pies man here, absolutely. Is this a sign of things to come for the black and white?
Oh, probably not. John?
Absolutely, George.
I'm hearing rumblings that you're going to shoot back right into the top 4 again. This could be the start of it.
Anyway, pretty cool.
Craig McRae wins an Australian Cup.
Oh, unbelievable.
And wearing the Collingwood colours, Reaper.
Yes, indeed.
Did he get the 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Outstanding. Just gets better.
Omen better the century, and it was so cool to see someone of that status involved not only in the greyhound but having success on the big stage. I was lucky enough to catch up with Craig after the win.
Craig McRae. Craig, firstly, Reaper. Top performance. What was your judgment of that?
I was pretty excited. I don't know too much about the game, to be honest, but we were hoping to finish in the top three. That's a lot better than that.
Was self-confessed, not an expert, but how did you get involved in the whole thing?
My best friend Tristan Lynch owns a few greyhounds. He owns Tim Zoo as well, and for my 50th this year, or last year now, he gave me a share in this dog. It was a pup and had no idea it was going to be any good, but pretty excited to be involved.
Well, here we go on some sort of riders. Before we let you go, how's the pre-season coming along?
We're going well. We haven't lost a game yet, so optimism is high, and boys are training hard, and we're looking forward to the season.
Well, hopefully your first big win of the year is Reaper in the Australian Cup, mate. Good job tonight, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Craig McRae there, and he's up and about, George.
Good get from you. Well,
he's
it's easy
walking
to interview people after you win a heat of an Australian Cup, to be honest.
Well, I think he's refused some media requests this week, and I thought to myself, "Oh, here we go."
He didn't refuse.
Sky Racing Active, Watchdog
You
App.
heard about the RSL story where there's people asking for you and wanting you to come down to the RSL for an autograph. Just a quick text, Tim, again, not having to go at you boys, just wanted to praise the dog. He's my favourite dog. No, we didn't say
have a
that,
go at
Tim.
us, Tim. We poured cold water on it, and you've got the chocolates.
No, mate, you're a star, mate. We love your input throughout the show. But as I said, that was a terrific run. And Reaper, again, Jay Thompson gets the job done in the first of those heats.
Mapunga Tully, 29.58. She was faultless from a wide draw in her heat.
Spoke to Barry Smith after the race, and he just said to me that, and I sort of hinted to him. I said, "How's her consistency been in the last 6 to 8 weeks?" He said, "She's just gone to another level. Ability has always been there, but for her to run the fastest time of the night, Jace, and she's being able to navigate tricky draws now, and that's the key for her. She's a live chance in this Australian Cup, obviously running 29.59, but how about those splits, Jace? 5 dead, 17.53. That's what you need to be running out in front, and she was outstanding.
So fast. And before we get to race 6 at Healesville, George, I just want to touch on a quick story from Saturday night. So one of the elements of the night at the Meadows was that there was a punters club. It was run by Ethan Christian, and I think he's a loyal listener, or maybe just tunes in when he knows he's getting a mention. But race 3, him and Nathan Rooney was so keen on Mapunga Tully. The punters club started in race 4, so not ideal. You then liked Werris Bale in race 7. Salutes, he could have got as much as $21. They liked him to place. They were forced to take the tote. Instead of the $3.20 fixed price, he got $1.80.
Oh.
So in a punters club, he's found the $21 winner, and he's had to settle with $1.80 to place on the Billy Goat.
It happens.
This is a cruel game.
It happens, mate. It happens all the time. Nah, she was, as I said, Tully was just incredible. Who's saying they're going to stop her if she can even draw? Look, as I said, she's handled wide draws too.
Yep. All right, at the boxes, Healesville, race 6. There's a greyhound in this field, George, called He-Man. What do you think of when you hear that?
Mate, I used to love He-Man when I was growing up. Showing
What is
my
it?
age here. It was a cartoon
Was
series.
it? All I can think of is
at
Lou
Castle-
Richards talking about Lee Matthews saying, talk about a He-Man.
Man, mate, a Castle Grayskull. Come on, Jace.
No, before my time. All right, race 6, Healesville. Here's Victoria.
As well. So Troy Akamichi running with the Blue Rug, the favourite, and a bit of support for Intersparkle off the inside as well. We're getting set here for the 6th event at Healesville, and then moving in. The amber light is switched on, getting set for a start. Last them going in. Troy Akamichi, the favourite. Good support also, He-Man alongside in box 5. Troy Akamichi, the favourite in 4. Wearing the blue rug as the green light is switched on. We're set for a start here at Healesville. Ready to go. Race 6. And they're off and chasing. And Troy Akamichi dwelled at the start. Good speed, He-Man Bull indeed nicely away. At this point, they're White Shiraz uninviting, looking to jam up into Trijon. Into Sparkle gets the run on the inside here and starts to charge on clear. Into Trijon now to the centre of the track. And have a look at Troy Akamichi bounding forward with every stride. Gets the upper hand here and bounds forward up the centre of the track. Troy Akamichi home. 2 lengths on the line. Good go to Bull indeed, possibly into second from Into Trijon. Then we had Into Sparkle. Why not Bryce? Further there to White Shiraz, uninviting, one of the last in, and the time on the board 19 and 62. Troy Akamichi, well, didn't step the quickest, and at one point looked to be held up in a bit of traffic there, but managing to find the centre of the track and running to victory here, probably about the last 70 or 80 metres, getting a nice clear run and going forward with business. 4, 6 and 2 as we officially wait 4th place. 4, 6, 2 and 1 the numbers in the frame. 4, 6, 2 and 1 our interim numbers here at Healesville. 3 lengths, a nice strong win. Good and strong late. 3 lengths by ahead. 19 and 60 the official time. So Troy Akimichi taking out the 6th event thanks to Gorski Engineering, our sponsors. And a big congratulations to Mary Blake at North Bendigo with the son of Feral Frankie from Lady Pandora. Now, that is career start, Troy Akimichi, 38. For win number 4 at the track and distance, 19 outings here at Healesville for 3 wins and 8 minor placings.
Vic, thank you. So you need 3 and 4 to be alive so far after 2 legs of the quaddie at Healesville, and they're coming through now. Number 4, Choyamichi at $3.70 and $1.20 beats 6 Bull Indeed, $3.20. 2 into Trogon at $3.10 and 1 into Sparkle. The Quinellas paid $23. The Exacta $29. The Trifecta $193. And the first 4 on the race $743. 4621. Running double 3 and 4. That's $14.50. Jace.
Thanks, John. A couple of text messages have come in. George, maybe you can touch on the second one. The first of them, congratulations to the punter who backed Tim Zoo last week in the Team League. Well done. That was Tim from Kilsyth. And the other one there.
Yeah, He-Man had a sister called She-Ra, Jace. Any bitches in the litter to appropriate the name? Love the show, gents. So thank you, whoever that was.
Well, in the cartoon, he had a sister.
Fantastic cartoon. Well before its time. And then they made a movie out of it with Dolph Lundgren, the big Russian.
So that's a reference of Lou Richards. That's who he was talking about.
Exactly.
All right. Unbelievable.
You learn everything. You learn something every day, mate.
That you do. I have to do more homework on that, as I do with all these TV shows that you're bombarding me with at the moment. But anyway, move on to the business side of things. And look, one race we haven't spoken about last Saturday night was the Zoom Top, which was won by Lanfranco. He's a greyhound that's got untapped ability, so it would be so satisfying to see him pick up a Group 1 win. And his co-trainer, Jamie Ennis, joins us here on Grey Areas. Jamie, welcome in, mate, and congratulations with the big win on Saturday night.
Thanks, Jace.
With one like him, we know he's carried a lot of X factor throughout his career. Would have been a handful to train. So, I mean, how much satisfaction do you take out of having a G1 next to his name now?
Yeah, look, if you watched his first half a dozen starts, you'd think he's going to be battling to win a maiden. Obviously, he was very disappointing through them runs. But, the backstory is that, he was exposed to lack of dogs when he was rearing, not through the rearer's fault. He done a terrific job and he came in outstanding condition, but he just didn't have the numbers to be exposed to. And even before his race, it's so hard to get field trials. And, the couple of dogs that I did trial him with, he put away pretty easily, but it's a lot different when it's an 8-dog field.
Jamie, congratulations. I think you were one of our first guests on Grey Areas, and I think you joked about how sometimes the owners would say to you, we're not sure what type of Lanfranco is going to turn up. I think he had a middle draw over 600. Have you noticed any discernible differences in his demeanour in the last couple of starts? I mean, he's won 5 out of his last 6. Does he take it more seriously now? Is there something that you think's clicked, or is he just getting more experience to racing?
Oh, it's just more experience and confidence. If you go through and watch his races, he's a lot better dog when he's got the fence to follow. I think he uses the rail as like a guide to him, and it's a confidence thing. And when he has to work around the dog, if you watch him, it just takes a long time to do it. He doesn't just sort of make it smooth sailing and just scoots around one. But when he's up the fence, he really can accelerate real good. So, it's a lot to do with his draws, and I've tried to, on purpose, race him mainly around the city tracks because obviously the bigger races are there and I know the engine's there. It's just a matter of just repetitive and just keep going around. And if he does need to come up for air, stop on him for a couple of weeks and then start again. But obviously now that the confidence is there, we can sort of hopefully go on a full progression and he can keep, sort of being highly, show his ability and can win more Group 1s.
It's an interesting point you make about the fence there, Jamie, because I noticed that he looked like he was going to get to Groove Bird quite easily, just past the 600-metre boxes. And then when he sort of went off her heels, there was a couple of strides there where I thought she maybe kicked again for half a length. But then when he straightened, he went away. I mean, he's only going to get better, isn't he, with that type of experience, because he had to go around a greyhound this time.
Yeah, that's right. Look, no disrespect to Groove Bird. She ran a terrific race, but if he sort of got straight up under the fence, turning for home, I've no doubt he would have put 4 or 5 lengths into her. But It's just the fact that he had to work around her. He's just so bad at doing it. He every start he's the same. There's no there's no just scoot straight round him or anything like that. He's just, even the start before, when he ran that quick time over the, he took the whole turn basically from the catching pen to get round, the leader at the time before he could put it away up the back straight. So, it's not just something that he's just started doing, but the fact that he actually is pushing forward early in his races now and will put himself in it, it's going to make it a lot easier for him, especially over ground.
And Jamie, for at least 6 months, this boy has looked like that 700 metres was going to be no drama for him. He was going to be untapped over the distance, but you didn't step him up that quickly to that trip. So what was your mindset around how you approached that, getting him over 700?
I just wanted him to learn how to race a little bit more. I wasn't entirely impressed. Obviously, Ben starts are a different sort of racing. Normally, they're won by dogs that sort of run the boxes and push forward straight away early. It's pretty hard to make ground, how quick the tracks are these days. But when he did draw in, he used to do a really good job of it. But I just didn't want to push the fact that 700 to he is more mature and just had a little bit of age on him, and he was doing things pretty well right over the 5 and 6 before I did sort of make the decision that 700 was going to be, obviously it always was the plan in the back of our heads, but I just wanted the confidence to be there before we actually done it.
Just quickly, Jace, just an update on Ella's Babe. I mean, you've got 2 greyhounds here who are bona fide stayers now, who are both under 3 years of age. You must be excited going forward with both of them, and hopefully if you can stay injury free, a little bit of travel with both of them for some of the big Group 1s.
Yep. Ella's Babe's coming off a season. She actually had her first trial this morning, and she went outstanding for her over 400 metres at Geelong, and I think the season's done her the world of good. I'm pretty confident that, 6 weeks' time, they'll both head to Sydney. Actually, Lanfranco pulled up a little bit sore from his run on Saturday, so he won't take his place this Saturday night. He's going to have a couple of weeks off, which probably makes his run even better on Saturday night. But with Ella's Babe, they'll head to Sydney, hopefully both sound and ready to go in 6 weeks, and she ran terrifically last time she was up there, so I've no doubt she'll come back better. So hopefully only one of them has to win, but I'm sure that they'll be both hard to beat when they go up there.
Pound for pound, Jamie, I know it might be hard. Is she still probably the better of the two in your eyes over the 700?
Oh, look, Lanfranco would be faster. Obviously, there's not many dogs that you'd be confident if you went and trialled him over 500 at the Meadows, you'd probably run in the 29.50s or 60. It's pretty hard. It's pretty rare air, for dogs to sort of be able to run the times that he can actually run when he's solo. But in saying that, the season's probably going to mature Ella's Babe, and she's going to be a lot better for it. And, she is a true, genuine stayer. So, and the other, the fact is that she'll circle them and do different things in a race where the other dog will be looking to get under him, and if the runs don't come his way, well, it can be a little bit awkward for him. But I'd definitely say Lanfranco's the faster, but she's pretty solid stayer herself.
Jamie, give us an insight to Lanfranco's owner in Matt Sheehan, because the way that he started off his career, I understand there was some pretty significant offers come in for this boy, which, I mean, given the headache he must have been at that point in time, might have been a lucrative option. So what sort of credit do you give to Matt Sheehan for sticking fat, not only with him but with you, and now being a Group 1 winner?
Well, his nickname's Sprinkle Sheehan. He always talks in hundreds and thousands. So he... No, he's a plumber from Bendigo, and we've been really good mates for a long time. And him and Stephen, they own the dog together. And I think for them, when the dog was getting beat early on, and I was telling him that he'd be hard to beat, that it was more fun for them in getting beat so they could put some stick into me. But there was never any stage where I don't think they wanted to sell the dog. The offers weren't big. I think people thought he was just an ordinary dog. And just one that was going to be a cheapie, just to go into state. But there was sort of never any substantial offers or anything like that. They just thought he may have been a dog that wasn't suited to us, or, we didn't think he was good enough to keep. But they obviously didn't know what he was trialling, and, the consistency that, was shown. But, the owners have been really good, and that, you can't... you can only sort of. It would have been easy for them to sort of give up on him and wanting to move him on, but obviously being terrific friends and all that, we can share a bit of stick to each other, and they like all their pre-race videos and all that. So it's a bit of fun for us all.
And Jamie, with my role at GRV, I'm lucky enough to log in the fast track and see some things that aren't necessarily public facing. Now, when I look at the kennel name in a lot of these profiles for the greyhounds, it's often wrong. The one we've got here for Lanfranco's kennel name's Darren. His name's not Darren, is it?
No, I don't know where he got Darren from, but I've got no idea where that one come from. But he's definitely kennel name's Frankie, obviously named after Jockey Dettori. So. I think one of the boys wanted to put a tweet in. They were hoping he'd win nearly Melbourne Cup time, and they were hoping that Frankie was out racing somewhere to try to get into the track, because one of his owners, Stephen, he's just obsessed by him. I don't think he could miss a race at Santa Anita without him on him. No, that was hoping to be the case, but it wasn't. But no, it's a good name now once they start winning.
Jamie, every Friday you're probably aware that I get this obscure outlay from George, and it's often focused around the NBA. We're sort of not yet getting into the areas of Swiss table tennis or anything like that, but I do know that you're a big fan of the rodeo and catch plenty of that on Fox Sports. Have you ever had a pun on the rodeo?
No, I haven't had a pun on the rodeo. I didn't actually know you can be on it, but I've been actually watching it, all the American rodeo lately. I've been getting into it. It's a bit like you with the darts. But I don't think I'll be game enough to get on one of those bulls, but it looks pretty good fun. But, yeah, I think I'll be stepping clear of that one. I think you're a lot safer throwing darts.
And Jamie, just quickly, when are you and Brooke heading over to LA again to watch Luca and LeBron play? Imagine those tickets, mate. You need to win a few Group 1s, I reckon.
The biggest problem with that is if I turned up to watch them play, they'd both be a last-minute withdrawal.
Yeah, both have calf injuries, yeah.
It's happened to me. It's happened to us a couple of times. We've gone over to watch the big boys play, and last minute withdrawal, and the stadium's half empty, so we've had no joy with that. But I'm a Kawhi Leonard man, and it'd be mission impossible to try to catch him playing a game.
Right, no, imagine Fluke and getting him fit. Jesus. Anyway.
Hey, Jamie, before we let you go, I appreciate the insight on Lanfranco that he won't be nominated for those Vanderbilt Stay seats this Saturday night. But is it too short of a turnaround to think that the Rookie Rebel the following Saturday is an option?
It's possible. It's something that's in the back of my mind. But obviously, with a dog like him, being the way he is, he's a dog that you need to get to the races full of confidence. And he definitely won't be nominated unless I think he's 100% right. You just wouldn't put him in unless you didn't think he was. But it is in the back of my mind. But I've also got a backup if Zipping Hopkins doesn't make the final of the Australian Cup on Saturday. I think he'd be well and truly worthy participant of a nomination, that's for sure.
Thanks for your time, mate. Appreciate it. Congratulations on the big win last Saturday, and I'll have to speak to Corey Smith. We'll get a bucking bull there at the Meadows on Australian Cup night, mate, and have your name all over it. So thanks again.
As long as you have a go, I'll get on.
Done deal. Jamie Anderson, the trainer or co-trainer of Lanfranco, George, and great insight from Jamie. He's one of the best operators there is, and I think there's no better example than the success he's having now with Lanfranco.
Always great to talk to him because he's honest and frank about it and gives you really good insight. And look, it was a terrific run. Again, I've got to put my hand up with the greyhound. I think it's always hard, and historically, you look at it, Jace, when you have a greyhound stepping up to that Group 1 class for the first time, it's not often that they end up winning. So for him to do that against that field, I think was fantastic. Ethanol Water, Stewart's report said that there was an injury to a back muscle, but I see that she is nominated.
She's nominated for this week, correct.
And obviously breaking news that Lanfranco will be out of the Vanderbilt Superstayers series, so that's no good. But, look, he deserved to win. That's why I brought up that thing about the fence. It just looked like he took a little while to get around Groovebird, but then he sort of always had her measure as they turned for home. So it was a terrific Group 1 win.
So we expect another good night of racing at the Meadows this Saturday. If you're keen to get along, it's a kids' night. There'll be free family entertainment, jumping castles, games, face painting, A Magician. It's not George Ferrugia, but the bloke's pretty good. Free snack food and much, much more. So get in contact with the Meadows for more information on that.
The Magician, I believe, is my Uncle Mars. He makes $50 disappear when he's near a pokie machine instantaneously. So that's the Magician.
That's not bad.
So we'll see how we go.
And if you can't make it, make sure you tune in through Sky Racing Active or the Watchdog app. Nathan Rooney and Corey Smith will be joining me. Mark Olmos is out. He's managed with hamstring awareness.
Hamstring awareness.
No, that's not the case. But he'll be back next week for the final night. Sandown tomorrow night, Georgie. There's a reasonable card there. I saw your boy, Orly Bales, drawn the red.
Yeah,
Times and margins.
He's one of my tips, mate, for sure.
Hit us.
You
What
wanna
have you
go
got
for
for
it?
us?
Race 7, number 2, Zipping Kai. I know she's been mixing her form a little bit recently, Jace, but I think she finds her race here. Back to a mix 4 and 5. Look, her runs behind Werris Bale and a Trillo Bale read well because a Trillo Bale obviously won ahead of the Australian Cup. Form line reads good. She's got good speed. I think she can sit in a very good position and be hard to beat. Orly Bale, got to tip him. Every time I don't, he seems to do well. Forget his run last start, got into all sorts of trouble. His win before that at Sandown was outstanding. I'm going against Boracay Storm there, Jason, who we really loved his run last week, but I just think Orly Bale can sit in a nice enough position and be hard to beat. Race 10, number 2 is the one we come home with, Shimmer Stan. Again, ran second in that derby at Ballarat. Form before that in town was absolutely fantastic. Should sit into a nice enough position early again. The red in the race has got a little bit of speed, Paul Larry, but I think Shimmer Stan's got him covered on ability. So race 10, number 2 to bring us home.
All right, outstanding. And you'll be awake early on Friday morning to watch week 2 of the Premier League, the darts.
Yes.
Yes.
Times and margins, mate.
I tell you
Let
what,
me know.
when I found out or realised that we don't get a obscure outlay from you on a Wednesday, I come up with one myself.
What have you got for me?
So there's 4 opening games
Here
that'll
we
kick
go.
off week 2 of the Premier League. We're going to take Luke Littler versus Rob Cross. Littler for the most 180s. It's very short, but he'll get it. And Michael Van Gerwen versus Stephen Bunting. Bunting most 180s, $2.15. So a tick under $3 for that double.
Multi. Done.
And we'll speak about its outcome on Friday.
I don't think Cheryl wants me to add another sport to my already high roster. But you're pushing me to
Particularly,
watch darts.
now you've brought her into the studio here.
Well, let's
Your
get her on
lovely
the.
George.
Well, we can get her on the mic if you want.
You're taking her out for lunch today.
She's
Okay,
waving
that's
us
She
off.
wouldn't want more sporting events given the way you would have come home on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, no, I had a pretty big weekend, so just a
You wouldn't have picked the kids up. You wouldn't have got them ready Tuesday morning.
Tick so far.
Talking about doubles that
Cheryl's doing a
can't
lot of
lose.
sign language at the moment, folks, if you're listening at home.
Yeah,
It's-
using the wrong finger.
It's all sign language.
you've been tuning into your beloved Married at First Sight, George.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Please.
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty good season so far. Don't pretend you don't watch it, Jason.
I've been
I won't
watching
have
it.
any of it. There's nothing else on TV. I'm waiting for Landman season 2, mate, and you haven't even watched season 1.
No, I haven't. I signed up to Netflix. Well, my lovely
It's
did,
not
so
on
we'll
Netflix.
watch it.
It's on Paramount
Is
Plus.
it?
I told you that.
There's another $15 a month.
Oh, God.
Jamie Ennis was good.
Yeah.
As always.
I
I wanted to thank him for
I
beating me
actually
in another
passed.
Group 1.
I passed George a note, Jason, while you were talking to him. Just saying what a great talker Jamie
You
is.
should have told him, Johnny.
He's good.
He's direct. He answers the question, avoids nothing, and he can, he speaks well about the sport.
Yeah. No, he's
Great,
good.
great guest.
Good judge.
All right, where you going for lunch, George?
Just a local cafe, mate. They make a nice poke bowl.
Not with the initials RS, is it?
It's got,
No,
Royal Standard.
somewhere local, mate.
it's got a dartboard.
No, somewhere nice local place. I forget
Australia
it's-
Sri Lanka kicks off at 3, so make sure you're home for that.
Yeah,
One day.
Nate will be watching that. Hawthorn Geelong on Monday, mate.
On Monday,
Yeah,
Pracky,
Bracky. Yeah,
you having a bet?
of course. Unders overs.
All right, that's a wrap for Grey Areas on this Wednesday. Back Friday, as always, from midday. John Henry, thank you to you as well.
Great pleasure, boys.
Thank
You're a
you,
great
mate. See you
human
Friday.
being. And on the way to the boxes at Hillsville for the 7th, and the perfect time to get on track with Victoria Shore.
Aston Honcho. So as they assemble behind the start, we'll get underway with our loading process for the 7th event here very, very shortly. So arriving at the start here at Hillsville, as we welcome in our relays here to the coverage for the 7th event. And the amber light is now switched on. We're moving in. So the scratching of number 6 giving Regal Phonic and Metal Bender a bit more room, and Rickalina Pearl has come into favouritism here around the $2.30 mark from box number 3. Good support also for Aston Honcho drawn the red. So we get set for a start. The amber light continues to flash away. 3:50 the journey, the 7th here at Healesville. Just awaiting the green light. Rickalina Pearl wears the white rug, Aston Honcho in the red. Set for a start. The green light is switched on. We're ready to run. The 7th, they're set. And they're often chasing, and Rickalina Pearl got a lovely clear passage out of the boxes. Mandolin Wind bumped around there early. Regal Phonic nicely away. Metal Bender there, Alpha Girl over on the outside of this point is Mandolin Wind, and running up the inside there is Aston Honcho from Regal Phonic, but tearing to the lead. It's Rickalina Pearl, and she's put the paw down, charging away out in front. Rickalina Pearl does that easy. Good go the Miners, possibly White Aversion and Aston Honcho hitting the line there together. Mandolin Wind was just off them. Next there, good Regal Phonic. Alpha Girl, one of the last in with Metal Bender, and the run 19 and 43. Rickalina Pearl won that in a canter. The split in 6:57 as we wait for the details. The run home in 12:85. Number 3, Rickalina Pearl. Lovely passage out of the boxes. Really liked the run at Ballarat last start too, where she got back and she was held out wide and she was wanting to run on, and she looked like she had plenty more in the tank, and sailed to victory here today in 19 and 42. Numbers in the frame 3, 1, 2 and 4. 3, 1, 2 and 4. Our interim numbers here at Healesville. 4 lengths.